Hey everyone, Dawn here from So Essential Oils, and I just want to tell you a story today. I want to tell you about how a little bottle like this changed my life so much, so much for the better. Not quite 5 years ago, I was sent a little tiny bottle like this for my son. I have two boys, and my older son is now 18, and he has special needs. He has Down syndrome, and he has very severe autism. And I was sent a little tiny sample of oil called cedarwood and was told that it would be calming for him and that it could help calm a fight or flight response. And I thought that sounded pretty amazing. My son at the time was having, on average, 3 meltdowns a week. And if you've never seen a meltdown, it might look a little bit like a temper tantrum, but it's not. It's really more like a panic attack. For my son, it meant throwing himself on the floor, hitting himself in the head, crying, screaming, thrashing. It was just not safe to be anywhere near him when he was having something like this happen. And it's not something that he had any control over at all. It's not like I'm crying because I can't have my toy and I'm going to throw a fit. And then when I have the toy, I'm fine. It's not that at all. It's completely out of their control. So I was told, put a little drop on the back of his neck. And I'll be honest with you, when I got that oil, I put it right on the back of his neck the moment I opened that package. But he was already calm. He was watching TV and he wasn't agitated in any way. And I honestly saw nothing. I couldn't tell any difference at all. My son's nonverbal, so he couldn't tell me if he felt calmer either. I set it aside. And a couple days later, sure enough, he had a meltdown. And he was in the middle of the living room floor, and I couldn't get near him to comfort him. And it's heartbreaking to see your child like this. I mean, it's just terrible. And I thought, I have this oil, let me try it. I put a little drop on my finger, and I darted in, and I just barely touched it to the back of his neck. And then I jumped out of the way because he was still just thrashing everywhere. And I waited. And within 1 minute, he went from this full-blown meltdown to absolutely calm. It was like, kind of, I'm calming down. And a minute after that, it was gone like it never even happened. So we didn't have a whole bunch of recovery time afterwards where he was still sort of fragile. He was good to go. It was amazing. And if I hadn't witnessed it myself, I'm not sure that I would have believed it. Like if my husband told me, I would have been like, yeah, honey, sure, okay. But it was amazing. And so I did some research, and when I ordered that oil and I got it into the house for real, a regular sized bottle of oil, instead of this little tiny sample, I started using it every day with my son. And we use it every single morning, and we use it every single afternoon. A drop rubbed on the back of his neck. The first couple days, he was really not keen on having us touch him because he didn't understand. But the third day, he didn't try to get away from me at all. I think he realized that whatever mom is doing is really helping me feel better. And now it's not a big deal. Okay, we're going to put oils in the back of your neck. And he just waits until I do it. His meltdowns went from 3 times a week to about 2 to 3 times in a year. And that has got to be absolutely tremendous for him because it's physically uncomfortable to run on adrenaline when you don't need it. It's physically painful. So he's got to feel so much better. And then for my whole family's life has been changed so very much because we're not walking around trying to avoid setting him off on one of his meltdowns, and we're not having to deal with the aftermath and the recovery, and you don't know when it's going to happen, and you don't know where it's going to happen. And that has been absolutely life-changing for my entire family. So thanks for listening to my little story about this. If you would like to talk about using essential oils in your family, I would be happy to set up an appointment time to talk to you, absolutely free of charge, and see if this is something that might work for you or for someone that you love too. Just leave me a message below and I would be happy to contact you. I will talk to you again soon. Bye.